I'm here because I want to tell you it's okay. Rosh HaShanah is an incredible concept. We don't often think about the reality of this holiday's philosophical and theological underpinnings. Its liturgy, in contrast to how we celebrate it. In the face of uncertainty, when finitude hangs in the balance, we are positive. There are two prayers that are central to Rosh Hashanah, the Untitled Chapter and Rosh Hashanah. What do they say? Who shall live and who shall die? Who will perish by fire? Who by water? Who will die of loneliness? But what does the Jew do in the face of uncertainty when we do not know whether we will be written into the book of life and we have 10 days to guess whether we'll be written in that book of life? We bless the day. We eat apples and honey. We hope. In the face of uncertainty, we have hope in our hearts. Jews possess an unbridled optimism in the face of uncertainty. You, each of you have lived these last months, every day, every hour, every moment. We have watched more than 500,000 of our brothers, our mothers, our fathers, our sisters perish in this pandemic. And yet we show a resiliency of this day. We pivoted, and many of you found the silver lining, even in this pandemic. You baked bread, you gathered your children and your grandchildren, you blessed the day. So many in the midst of danger and uncertainty found the silver lining of this pandemic. To quote one of the most meaningful thinkers, we cannot change the facts, we cannot control the circumstances, but we can change our response to these. These are the very words of Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. Viktor Frankl was a young Viennese psychiatrist who used his experience in the concentration camp to develop something called logotherapy. Following Nietzsche's idea, he who has a why can live and bear almost any how. Frankl's mother, father, brother, and pregnant wife were killed in the camps. He said everything can be taken from a human being except one thing. The last of human freedoms is to choose one's own attitude in any given circumstance, to choose one's own way. You may not be able to control or change the facts, but you can choose how to respond. This year I found this radical, unbridled optimism of all places in a song in a contestant of America's Got Talent. The contestant, she goes by the name of Nightbird. She sings a simple song called It's Okay. I'd like to take a moment and show you her clip. Her honesty, her optimism captures the essence of this day. I'd like to show you this now. Much closer to home, I was taught this optimism every Wednesday for the last decade. I had the privilege to study with my friend and my teacher, Irene Poland. May she rest in peace. Mitch Albom had Tuesdays with Maury. I had Wednesdays with Irene. We studied Bible together. We discussed Shakespeare and more. We faced the vicissitudes of life with her unbridled optimism and her bold, practical, one foot in front of another approach to life. She told me the following story one day in response to some complaint I had lodged against life. It was a story she repeated to me as she faced death. She and her husband Abe had gone to Europe, and they had been taken on a special trip and walked painfully the remains of the concentration camp Auschwitz-Birkenau. When they returned to their hotel, Abe Poland collapsed on the bed and proclaimed, "This was one of the most difficult days of my adult life. Seeing the destruction and demise of his people, he was emotionally and physically drained." When he looked up, he saw Irene standing in front of the mirror putting on lipstick. She said to him, "Get up, put on your jacket." He said, "Irene, what are you talking about? This is one of the most emotional, draining days of my adult life. What are you doing?" "I'm getting ready, and so are you." "What in God's name are we going to do?" Abe said. She responded, "Put on your jacket." "But Irene, we just saw the concentration camp. What in God's name are we doing?" She said, "We're going dancing." "Irene, we just witnessed the police. Our people were burned alive. Why in the world would we go dancing?" She turned and said, "Because we can." After I finished Irene Poland's unveiling, I returned with her sons, Jimmy and Robert, to their parents' home in Bethesda, to a huge tent set up on the same place the family celebrated Jimmy's bar mitzvah, Robert's wedding, and so many other family life cycles. And Robert flew in the best, most upbeat klezmer band, and after he got everyone on their feet to dance, he told them the same story. "Tonight, in honor of my mom, who lost 3 children, who faced unspeakable pain in her life, she taught us, despite it all, no, in fact, because of it all, we need to dance." It is what we tell ourselves in the practice of Rosh HaShanah when we do not know whether we will live or die. We eat apples and honey. We bless the day. We dance. Because we, with hope in our heart, we hope because in the face of uncertainty, we know it will be okay. I decided that day I needed to dance and that it will be okay. I'm here to tell you I want to dance while I can. For 36 years, I have taken care of you. I have stood before you and been a humble southern boy who struggles like you to find goodness in God. I've only been honest and often vulnerable before you because that's all I can do. I, like you, face uncertainty with hope. It is time for me to dance while I still can. So after this Yom Kippur, I will go on medical leave. I will turn the day-to-day operations of Washington Hebrew congregation to the capable hands of Rabbi Shankman and Senior Cantor Bortnick. And I'm going to dance while I still can. I'm going to dance while I still can. It's important for you to know I'm in good health. I have a cholesterol level most of you would give your left hand for. I do not have a cold. I do not have cancer. I do have an opportunity to face a condition. That condition is that I'm a workaholic. I have 2 speeds, fast and faster, dedicated and more dedicated. I've consumed my life for 36 years with honor, with great joy, walking life's path with many of you. I've tried to do it with honesty, with integrity, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I'm going to go on medical leave, and high holidays 2022, I will move from being your senior rabbi to becoming, God willing, and the creek don't rise, Rabbi Emeritus. I will fill all of my obligations. Don't worry, if I promise to be at your wedding, I will be there. If I promise to be at your gerbil's bris, I will be there. You laugh. You have no idea the requests I get. I will be there. I will preach and teach at the will of Rabbi Shankman and Cantor Bortnick, but mostly I want to spend my time dancing while I can. We will have plenty of time to celebrate the accomplishments that we have achieved together in these wonderful 36 years, but it's time, while I can, for me to dance. I've been told by my doctors that I have amazing discipline. I have a lower cholesterol than most teenagers. I have a great heart, but I also have a mind that is obsessive about what I do, and the only way I can give that mind some rest is to avoid the stress of running a vibrant congregation. It's to let somebody else take over the reins, and that's what I'm going to do. A dear friend of mine, my college suite mate, Bill Reitz, sent me the following. It's called 7%. It's a brief summary in a neat way of my high holiday messages over the years. This is something you should all read at least once a week, and make sure when you read it to the end. It was written by a 90-year-old columnist for the Plain Dealer, a local newspaper of Cleveland, Ohio. To celebrate growing older, I once wrote 45 life lessons life taught me. It is the most requested column I've ever written, he wrote. My odometer rolled to 90 in August, so here is the popular column once more. 1. Life isn't fair, but it's still good compared to the alternative. 2, when in doubt, just take the next small step. 3, life is too short, enjoy it. 4, your job won't take care of you when you're sick, your friends and family will. 5, pay off your credit cards every month. 6, you don't have to win every argument, stay true to yourself. 7, cry with someone. It's more healing than crying alone. 8, it's okay to get angry with God. God can take it. 9, save for retirement. Start with your first paycheck. 10, when it comes to chocolate, resistance is futile. 11, make peace with your past. It won't screw up the present. 12, it's okay to let your children see you cry. 13, don't compare your life to others. You have no idea what their journey is all about. 14, if a relationship has to be kept secret, you shouldn't be in it. 15, everything can change in the blink of an eye, but don't worry, God never blinks. 16, take a deep breath. It calms the mind. 17, get rid of anything that isn't useful. Clutter weighs you down in many ways. 18, whatever doesn't kill you really does make you stronger. 19, it's never too late to be happy, but it's all up to you and no one else. 20, when it comes to going after what you want, what you love in life, don't take no for an answer. 21, burn the candles, use the nice sheets, wear the fancy lingerie. Don't save it for a special occasion. Today is special. 22, over-prepare and then go with the flow. 23, be eccentric now. Don't wait for old age to wear purple. 24, the most important sex organ is the brain. 25, no one is in charge of your happiness but you. 26, frame every so-called disaster with these words. In 5 years, will this matter? 27, always choose life. 28, forgive. 29, what other people think of you is none of your business. 30, time heals almost everything. Give time. However good or bad the situation, 31, it will change. 32, don't take yourself so seriously. No one else does. 33, believe in miracles. 34, God loves you because who God is, not because of anything you did or didn't do. 35, don't audit life. Show up and make the most of it. Now. 36, growing old beats the alternative of dying young. 37, your children only get one childhood. 38, all that truly matters in the end is that you loved. 39, get outside every day. Miracles are waiting everywhere. 40, if we all threw our problems into a pile and saw everyone else's problems, we'd grab ours back. 41, envy is a waste of time. Accept what you already have, not what you need. 42, the best is yet to come. 43, no matter how you feel, get up, dress up, and show up. 44, yield. 45, life isn't tied with a bow, but it's still a gift. An estimated 93% of you won't forward this. If you're one of the 7% who will forward this with the title 7%, I'm in the 7%. Friends are the family that we choose. Thanks for being my family. So with your permission and with your blessing, I want to tell you it's going to be okay. I'm going to dance and dance and dance some more. And I hope you will join me as we embrace this Rosh HaShanah. And in the face of uncertainty, let us eat apples and honey. Let us bless the day. And let us dance. Let us dance because we can. Amen.